Hello everybody and welcome to the From Poverty to Progress channel, the channel that's devoted to promoting an awareness of human progress. My name is Michael Magoon. I am the author of the From Poverty to Progress book series. Today we are going to start an ongoing series of book reviews. Those books will focus on the concepts of progress, history, economic growth, technological innovation, and many other topics. In particular, we're going to focus on the how and why of human history and progress. Today's book review is 10 Global Trends Every Smart Person Should Know by Ronald Bailey and Marian Tupy. I believe this is one of the better books for convincing people that progress exists. I think the best way to sum up this book is to go through a few of the author's quotes. The first one is, "You can fix what is wrong in the world if you don't know what's actually happening." In this book, straightforward charts and graphs combined with succinct explanations will provide you with easily understandable access to the facts that busy people need to know about how the world is really faring. They go on. Polls show that most smart people tend to believe that the state of the world is getting worse rather than better. And this is absolutely true, and it's really quite stunning once you understand what progress is about, how many people are simply ignorant of the basic facts. And they're absolutely right about why this is a problem. They say this dark view of the prospects for humanity and the natural world is in large part badly mistaken. We demonstrate it in these pages using uncontroversial data taken from official and scientific sources. Now, this book is very different about many of the other books that I'm going to review. So I'll just show a few key pages from it to give you a basic understanding of what this book is about. It's not the kind of book that you're just going to sit down and read. I would consider it really to be more of what I would call a coffee table book, something that you could pick up and look at and read for a few minutes and then set it down and then come back at another time. It's also a great way for people who are visiting you to kill a little time while they're waiting for something to happen, and they can read a fairly enjoyable book. So here's the table of contents, and I think it gives a pretty good overview of all the trends. And I think overall they have 78 trends, if I remember correctly, in this book, and each one of them has a similar format. Each trend is basically 2 pages. On one side is a graph that comes from an official data source. The other side is a very brief explanation of the details of that trend. It's not going to give you a deep theoretical understanding of how and why these trends existed, but it does give pretty good evidence that the trends in fact exist. And this is the first step in convincing people of progress. You first need to convince people that progress exists before you go on to explain where those trends come from and how we can keep them going. What are my overall ratings on the book? Well, I would say in terms of the scope, I would give it a 4.5. In other words, it covers a lot of trends. It doesn't go really deep back into history and give the true origins of progress. But in terms of things that have happened in the 20th and 21st century, it gives a very excellent overview of a lot of different positive trends in human progress. In terms of theory, it really doesn't say much new. I wouldn't go to this book for trying to get an understanding of the how and why of human progress. It basically gives evidence that progress in fact exists. In terms of readability, I would give it a 5. Not so much because it's really well written, but just in the way it's laid out. It's very easy to just drop in, read a few pages, and then drop back out at it and read it again at a later time. So in my personal ratings, I'd give it a 5. I think this is a really great coffee table book for convincing others that progress is real. If you already know that progress is real and you're aware of the data trends, there's really nothing new here that you couldn't easily find on the internet. But in terms of a way of convincing other people, if you want a more detailed review, go to my website, techratchet.com. I would also encourage you to go to a number of books that are about a related topic. Now, each one of these books is very different in terms of the presentation and goes much more into the theory of progress, where it comes from. But if you want to know more about progress, these books are a great place to go. And I'm going to be doing book reviews on virtually all of these in the coming months. If you want to take an even deeper dive, you can go to my library of online book summaries of techratchet.com, where there's over 280 book summaries on technology, history, economic growth, and progress. I would also encourage you to go to my website, frompovertytoprogress.com. With a free email subscription, you get free ebook samples, free audio samples, and discounted prices on my books. If you insist on paying full price, you can buy them at the usual places. So now we've got to the free book giveaway. The giveaway is a free digital copy of my first book, From Poverty to Progress. You already know the rules. If you don't, you can read it here. So I hope you enjoyed this book review, and I will see you next time.